Hey guys, welcome to another video. Thanks for tuning into this one. I just wanted to reach out to give you guys a quick update, let you know what's going on. Got done with my trip early this morning, got home, had to get some rest, and had to start catching up on stuff. I know that I haven't caught up with all the messages. I'm slowly catching up. I have to say that, when I'm working, it's hard to do all of this, and try to get rest and just do the right things. Um, to those of you that have taken the BA test, I want to say that if you're waiting to hear back, there are a lot of people waiting to hear back. Now, some have already heard back, and from what I'm getting, all right, my best conclusions are if you've done a check-in test and you haven't heard back, after a day, 2 days or so, and you haven't heard back, there's a probability that you may advance to the next stage. The reason why I'm saying that is because those that did not make it through the check-in test usually will hear back within a day. That's what I'm seeing, and of course I may be wrong, and I don't want to get your hopes up, of course, but I'm just sharing the trends that I'm catching based on the feedback, based on the messages, based on the things that I'm reading. And I want to give you guys this information because I think it's good to let you know what I am seeing. The other thing I wanted to share with you is this, right? The check-in test, if you haven't done it yet, by the way, the application closes in about 3 days at the recording of this video. The check-in test, in as much as they have a very limited amount of time available to complete the test, it's important to be as accurate as much as possible. And unfortunately, it's one of those tests that's it's very, very easy to pick the wrong thing. Now, let's talk about the math test. One thing I want to say about that is, for those of you that have taken it, the feedback so far has been, the time factor. That the test itself wasn't as difficult, it was just a time factor. And I think this is where I always urge you guys that you don't want to run into this program on the internet and then you randomly start applying. In as much as you could get away with that, majority of the time this test can be quite intense, and not intense because of the difficulty of the question, but more intense on just how much you have to complete within a short amount of time. And if you've not been practicing that recently, at least in maybe a month in advance, it could be a challenge. That doesn't mean you can pass, especially if you're really good with numbers, but it could be a challenge. One thing I also want to say is not everybody you don't have to complete the questions to move on to the next stage. A lot of people didn't complete the questions and still advance to the next stage. I've seen questions about, what's the passing score? And I think my guess would be, I think it's about 80%. I'm not sure. So if you can get 80% correctly, I'm pretty sure you would be able to move to the next stage, at least based on, again, this is all just based on data, not data, based on information, okay, that I'm gathering. Now, the other thing I want to touch on is that in comparison to last year, I want to give you guys some, I guess, words of encouragement, all right? Last year, a lot of people didn't even get through the SJT, right, the situational judgment test. And that is because, well, nobody knew what to really expect, and everybody went in all blindly, and you picked what you thought was the best, forgetting the competences, and that's something that now we are beginning to think more in that line of, pilot competencies. What would they expect me to choose based on the question or the scenario you're given? And that's really something positive to mention. I know that some people didn't get through math. I know that some people didn't get through the check-in test. I know some people are waiting to hear back. So nobody has really advanced to the audio response stage just yet. But I just wanted to let you know that it takes practice sometimes, and some people didn't get through the SGT last year, and now they've been able to get to the check-in test or maybe the math test, and then maybe they didn't make it through that. And it happens, and I want you to know that it takes that practice sometimes. It's not just your first attempt that you eventually nail it. It might be your second, might be your third. But it is important to try. It is important to be prepared. It is important to keep going for those opportunities. There's so many opportunities that are out there. Talking about opportunities, I would like to share this one with you guys. Let me just pull up my screen real quickly here. And this doesn't apply to everybody, okay? But it is worth mentioning. And the reason why, just give me a second here. I might need to. All right. This is the Future Scholarships by the Royal Aeronautical Society. It is currently open. Not everybody can qualify for this one. You generally have to be a member. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this to you is because by being a member of these organizations out there, you are able to tap into opportunities like this. And they don't fund your flight training completely, but they may fund maybe your instrument rating or a portion of your training or a certificate course. And by the way, if you're in school, they may even cover, provide opportunities for internship or apprenticeship. Okay, I hope I said that right. So the point here is, in aviation industry, by the way, the point here is I want to emphasize to you all that are maybe in school, that are students, or you're 17, you're 16, you couldn't apply to BA, but you're worried, okay, how do you position yourself for these opportunities in the future? Here's how you do it. Find membership, find organizations out there that you can be part of. Hopefully some can be free depending on your age. Some can be discounted if you're a student. Join them. Try to find the events that they organize or the scholarship programs they provide, and just be on the lookout and tap into those once they come up. Another opportunity that is currently going through its phase of screening right now is the Air Cadets Air League program. A lot of you have reached out to me that you're going for interviews, and I've been able to give you guys the information, or at least share with you some of the things that you can prepare for. And I think it is important because these are opportunities, and I didn't have this opportunity back, 10, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, because I just didn't know any better. And that's why I've taken it upon myself to share these resources, opportunities with you, so that if you are interested in the aviation industry, you can tap into these opportunities, and hopefully to prepare you for your career as a pilot, as an engineer, as a technician, whatever industry, whatever job you are interested in aviation industry. I hope that I'm able to encourage you that, these are ways to prepare yourself, so that when you go in for those interviews, you have some experiences, you have some skills to mention. And that's really what sets you apart. Okay. It really goes a long way. So please, for those of you that are waiting to hear back with BA, I know that it's a difficult wait, but I'm wishing you guys the best of luck. Continue to prepare for the audio interview or the audio assessment that you have to do. In my previous video, I shared with you a link to like a BA PA announcement that was made, a real PA announcement. And the reason why I share that with you, and I don't know if a lot of people caught on to that, the reason why I share that with you is you can watch that video. It's a YouTube video. It's not mine. It's just a random, and there's so many videos online, okay, that you can search for that shows British Airways PA announcement. It gives you an idea of what a PA sounds like, okay? Not everyone has flown regularly, especially if you're young. You might not have heard a lot of PA announcements, and it's important to kind of get an idea of what a PA comprises of. Now, what it will give you will be slightly different from an actual event, but it could be, all right. Like last year, it was something that was a real life, not a real life description. Of course, it's made up, but they then put in some questions that you have to be able to answer, all right. So apart from the technical aspect, which I believe some of you should, at least most of you, if you're interested in flying, should be able to answer, it is important to also know how to structure your PA. Now, my advice to you is practice, okay? It takes practice. Set up your audio device, record yourself on your phone, listen to yourself, and just repeat that process, okay? Listen to different PAs on the internet, on British Airways, and write it out if possible. Put in extra information if you can, okay? And then try to just speed it out and read it out like you are actually in that environment. Honestly speaking, if you can do this and you can repeat this process, I don't want to promise you success, but at least it will get you comfortable in that assessment when you're about to take it. So my advice to you is go ahead, find different PA announcements on British Airways, maybe write it out, maybe record it, play it, try to just grasp as many information as you can from that announcement, and try to repeat it and replay the actual video to see what you missed, and do it again until you can be very fluent at it. Now, try different ones, long ones, short ones, even make your own up, it doesn't matter. And then you are able to test yourself in the comfort of your home, and you're just rehearsing, juggling those information at the top of your head. And of course, I think I mentioned in my previous video, don't forget a timeline. Okay, there's always a time factor. Don't always exceed that time so that you can say the important stuff within the allotted time. I wanted to share this information with you all. Let me do that. I wanted to share this information with you all. I hope that you guys have found value in this one. I wish you the best of luck, of course, and you know, let's make it to the next stage. Of course, that's the plan and that's the goal. See you guys in the next one.